So we have a Lions preseason game against Miami that we are going to talk about this week. As Morris Norris is doing pretty well. He's back home in Detroit, recovering after that scare he had last week. So good to see that Morris Norris is doing extremely well after what happened a week ago in Atlanta. But the Lions had a preseason game against the Dolphins, and even though the Lions fell, there are a lot of lost that preseason game. There are a lot of positives to take out of this game. The main positive was that we're taking out of this game is Isaac Tesla, because Tesla had another great game, another balled out again. Honestly, Tesla's done a really good job. Honestly, he's going to become another round 3 steal from another Brad Holmes masterclass. Brad Holmes, once again, has cooked again with another 3rd round steal. He's done really good in the 3rd round. Well, outside of Hendon Hooker, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. He got a Lee McNeil in the 3rd round. He got Kirby Joseph. And now add Isaac Tesla to that list. Joseph's been an absolute master in the 3rd round in finding talent. Like I said before, drafting high in the 1st round doesn't mean jack shit. It doesn't matter where you are in the draft. You can find talent literally anywhere in the draft if you have the right people calling the shots. And guess what? In the 3-1-3, we have the right man calling the shots in Brad motherfucking Holmes. Because Isaac Tesla's gonna be a fucking baller in this league. Besides, Tesla was taken around the same range that Amon-Ra St. Brown was taken. Because what was Amon-Ra St. Brown drafted again in 2021? Wasn't he a 4th round pick or some shit? 112th overall, I believe? Somewhere around there? Correct me if I'm wrong there. But Isaac Tesla, he's easily wide receiver 3 behind. I'd say he's easily wide receiver 3 behind Amon-Ra and J-Mo. I think Tesla has that spot locked up. But in terms of receivers, we also got to talk about Meeks. Meeks has done a really good job. Had another good game too. He's had a pretty solid preseason training camp so far. I think he possibly could earn himself a roster spot as a 2nd or 3rd string wide receiver. Maybe potentially go into special teams as a return man. That's possible. Dominic Lovett too. Also sad to see what happened with Ahmed Hassanin with that injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Prayers to him. Because he's been absolutely balling throughout this training camp preseason too. Been an absolute baller. Most likely what's going to be the 2nd string defensive end behind Marcus Davenport. Potentially could be Aiden Hutchinson's partner in crime when Davenport's body gives out again, since Davenport's so injury prone. That is if we don't bring back Zadarius Smith, or Zadarius Smith fucks off somewhere else. Since we don't know what the fuck Zadarius is going to do yet. But, yeah. And also, other players had good games too, Cunningham and Gourd and Howard also had good games too. Even Kyle Allen was balling out. Honestly, Kyle Allen, he didn't start off this preseason well because he struggled mightily against the Chargers, but the last 2 games against Atlanta and now Miami, Kyle Allen has improved dramatically since that start. He didn't start off the well, but of course, it's not about how you start, it's how you progress well and improve through the weeks. And I'll be honest, I think Kyle Allen is all but locked up the backup QB spot at this point already. Because he has at least improved every week and has gotten better every week. Same cannot be said about Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker has just been turning the ball over. Remember a couple years ago when Lions fans were calling for Hendon Hooker to be starting over Jared Goff when the going got tough? I wonder what happened to that Hendon Hooker crowd now, because that crowd has gone real silent. Because look at Hooker's struggles throughout this preseason. It's this is the guy people wanted to start over Jared Goff? Fuck no, I'd rather have Jared Goff starting over Hendon Hooker. Honestly, with the way Hooker has been playing, he might be playing himself out of a job and could be either getting cut at the end of training camp or might be getting traded for a late round pick in a couple weeks from now. Because Hooker's been pretty disappointing. I expected better out of Hooker this preseason. The final drive, though, Hooker had a chance to possibly be Captain Save-A-Ho. Until they got close to the goal, until they got into the red zone, and then Hooker threw a bad interception. It's like, that was a bad interception. Like, Hooker cannot be throwing it on that kind of play. Like, you have to pump fake in that situation. Like, you can't do that. Like, that was pretty bad. That was a bad interception by Hooker to end the game. Because Hooker, that was the one drive where Hooker actually was balling and actually playing well and protecting the ball well. Until he threw that bad interception. But yeah, easily out of everybody on the roster, Hooker has been the most disappointing so far. And I expect the pro Hooker crowd to take that news about as well as you think. And no, it has nothing to do with fucking skin color, you fucking dumbasses. It's about talent and balling. And so far, Hooker has not been balling. He's had his chances. He hasn't taken advantage of it. Like, honestly, I'd rather have Jake Fromm at this point as a QB3/emergency quarterback over Hendon Hooker. Like, Hendon Hook, like I think a lot of that pro Hendon Hooker crowd, I think they're now learning the hard way that finding a franchise quarterback is not as easy as some of you dumbasses think it is. There's a lot that actually goes into that process. And so far, Hooker proven that he ain't him. He ain't him. But we know Jared Goff is him. And also kind of funny how Dolphin fans are trying to brag about this preseason win when all they did was play the line second and third stringers, because the starters outright dominated the Dolphins throughout training camp, throughout the joint practices this week. Especially J-Mo and Hutchinson. Like, Hutchinson dominated so much in the practices that they literally had to bend the rules and create the Hutch rule to where the offense could actually have a chance to get a playoff, because Hutchinson was beating the O-line that badly. Just beating them like a dog. So yeah, if there are any questions about Hutchinson's speed after that injury he had last year, I think we can safely put those questions to bed. But yeah, absolute great game. Solid game from the Lions, and everyone's saying the Lions are going to struggle after a couple preseason games without Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. Honestly, shut the fuck up. It's fucking preseason, you dipshits. Let's see if that kind of talk continues after week 1. Let's see if that talk continues after week 5. Let's see if that narrative stays by mid-season. But yeah, anyway, that wraps it up here. But hey, the biggest W out of this game, we have a new podium at Ford Field. Not as epic as the one at the Myers Performance Center in Allen Park, but it's still an epic one where I can actually fit this video right in the podium. Hi, everybody. But anyway, only one more preseason game left before it becomes Packers War Week. See you all next week. I'm out.